We all know that food is central to survival, but have you considered how the diversity and abundance of food in our surroundings might have played a significant role in our evolution? A recent study suggests that food diversity in steep mountainous terrains had a significant impact on early human species. The allure of mountain diversity. The research team analyzed an extensive dataset of hominin fossils, artifacts, high-resolution landscape data, and a simulation of Earth's climate dating back 3 million years. The goal was to answer an intriguing question: why were our evolutionary ancestors more inclined towards mountainous regions than flat landscapes? Archaeological sites show that early human settlements, primarily hominins, were often nestled in or near mountain regions. Early humans in the mountains. Mountains are rich in biodiversity due to the climatic shifts caused by variations in elevation. Flora and fauna thrive under diverse environmental conditions, and mountainous regions host a myriad of ecosystems and vegetation types, also known as biomes. Such ecological prosperity drew our early ancestors to these landscapes, providing them with an abundant supply of food resources and a means to withstand climate changes. This concept is the basis of the diversity selection hypothesis. When we analyzed the environmental factors that controlled where human species lived, we were surprised to see that terrain steepness was standing out as the dominant one, even more than local climate factors, such as temperature and precipitation. Balanced equation of mountain diversity. However, living in these steep regions wasn't exactly easy. The rugged terrain posed considerable challenges, from difficulty navigating the land to high energy consumption. The researchers assessed how human adaptations over time gradually swayed the cost-benefit equilibrium of residing in such challenging environments. Adapting to steeper environments. Human resilience is evident in the adaptive journey of early Homo habilis, Homo ergaster, and Homo erectus, who gradually acclimated to steeper environments until about 1 million years ago. After a brief disappearances, the topographic signal resumes around 700,000 years ago, with the emergence of more culturally advanced species such as Homo heidelbergensis and Homo neanderthalensis. These groups demonstrated higher tolerance for colder and wetter climates and also learned to control fire. Whether it's all a coincidence or the intensifying glacial climate shifts contributed to the genetic transitions in early humans, remains an open question. Puzzle of human evolution. The debate on human evolution and how we adapted to environmental challenges continues to spark scientific discussions worldwide. However, this South Korean team's findings shed light on one piece of the human evolution puzzle. The analysis suggests that it was indeed beneficial for early human groups to populate mountainous regions, despite the increased energy consumption needed to navigate these environments. Our results clearly show that over time hominins adapted to steep terrain and that this trend was likely driven by the regionally increased biodiversity, said Zeller. The data, averaged over hundreds of thousands of years, spanning different species and continents, confirm that our ancestors were, indeed, steeplanders. Mountain life and social bonds. Mountainous regions not only presented a diverse array of food resources but also likely influenced early hominin social structures and innovations. The rugged terrain and varied ecosystems would have required early humans to develop cooperative strategies for survival, as foraging and hunting in these challenging environments often demanded group effort. This need for collaboration may have encouraged the development of early social bonds and the sharing of resources, leading to more complex social behaviors over time. Human tool innovation in the mountains. In addition to social adaptation, the challenging environment of mountainous areas likely spurred the invention and refinement of tools. Early hominins in these regions may have relied on rudimentary tools to navigate the terrain, hunt diverse prey, and process different plant materials. These innovations allowed them to exploit a broader range of food sources and adapt to the ever-changing conditions found at higher altitudes. By pushing hominins to adapt both socially and technologically, these steep and varied landscapes may have been a driving force behind some of the earliest forms of human innovation. A notable feature of the archaeological sites of early humans, members of the genus Homo known as hominins, is that they are often found in and near mountain regions. Using an extensive dataset of hominin fossils and artifacts, along with high-resolution landscape data and a 3-million-year-long simulation of Earth's climate, the team of scientists from ICCP have provided a clearer picture of how and why early humans adapted to such rugged landscapes. In other words, they have helped explain why so many of our evolutionary relatives preferred being steeplanders as opposed to flatlanders. Mountainous regions have enhanced biodiversity because the changes in elevation result in shifts of the climate, providing a range of environmental conditions under which different plant and animal species can thrive. The authors showed that steep regions usually exhibit a larger variety and density of ecosystems and vegetation types, known as biomes. Such biome diversity was a draw for early humans, as it provided increased food resources and resilience to climate change, an idea known as the diversity selection hypothesis. When we analyzed the environmental factors that controlled where human species lived, we were surprised to see that terrain steepness was standing out as the dominant one, even more than local climate factors, such as temperature and precipitation. On the other hand, steep regions are more difficult to navigate than flatter terrain and require more energy to traverse. Hominins needed to gradually adapt to the challenges of rougher terrain in order to take advantage of the increased resources. The ICCP researchers examined how, over time, human adaptations changed the cost-benefit balance of living in rugged environments. The adaptation towards steeper environments is visible for the earliest human species Homo habilis, Homo ergaster, and Homo erectus until about 1 million years ago, after which the topographic signal disappears for about 300,000 years. It re-emerges again around 700,000 years ago with the advent of better adapted and more culturally advanced species such as Homo heidelbergensis and Homo neanderthalensis. These groups, which were able to control fire, also exhibited a much higher tolerance for colder and wetter climates. The decrease in topographic adaptation around 1 million years ago roughly coincides with large-scale reorganizations in our climate system, known as the mid-Pleistocene transition. It also lines up with evolutionary events such as a recently discovered ancestral genetic bottleneck, which drastically reduced human diversity, and the timing of the chromosome 2 merger in hominins. Whether this is all a coincidence, or whether the intensifying glacial climate shifts contributed to the genetic transitions in early humans, remains an open question, said Axel Timmerman, director of the IBS Center of Climate Physics and co-author of the study. How humans have evolved over the past 3 million years and adapted to emerging environmental challenges is a hotly debated research topic. The results of the South Korean research team provide a new piece in the puzzle of human evolution. Averaged over hundreds of thousands of years, across different species and continents, the data clearly show that our ancestors were steeplanders. Our results clearly show that over time hominins adapted to steep terrain and that this trend was likely driven by the regionally increased biodiversity. Our analysis suggests that it was beneficial for early human groups to populate mountainous regions, despite the increased energy consumption needed to scale these environments.